Hello and happy Monday. It's Monday, Monday, Monday. And you are watching the live replay because YouTube would not let me be great. So we are actually going to still get this party started. Y'all, my name is Montina, and this is part of the Happy Wife Project. And I created this, pulling my notes here. I created this because I really wanted to create a safe space for women that are married, that love being married, but have some challenges, that may be in the valley, coming up out the valley, going down into the valley. And for women that just want to stay married, that want to get married, for single women that want to attract the love they desire and deserve. Y'all want to be wives too. So you're like, okay, I want to learn from wise women. I wish that I could have had some wise women to school me. Because I find that some women, especially older women, they're either wise or they're just weird. Come on, help us understand relationships. Encourage us in relationships, but they be so bitter sometimes. They be bitter bees. I created this because there are support groups for everything. Support groups, Alcoholics Anonymous, and divorce support groups, grief support groups. I mean, love addicts, sex addicts. But if you talk marriage support, it's like, let me pray for you. I can pray for myself. Okay. And some of the women that even offer prayer I see in the church been married 50 gazillion years. I'm like looking at them like, well, I think your husband might have just stayed or settled somebody in there because they just toughed it out. I don't want a miserable marriage. I don't want a miserable life. I want my life to reflect God's grace and mercy and faithfulness towards me. So there are some specific things that we need to do, right? 80% of the time, sis, that man is like, woo, you be like, okay. 20%, you be like, what in the men oh pause? That's what I think it means. Men oh pause. And I'm here because I want to encourage you, if as long as you're not, being abused, you say abuse, addiction, adultery, to stay. Because some of the things that you're experiencing are more normal than you realize. They really are more normal than you think. And I'm not saying that the abnormal should be normal, but if you go through therapy, you go through life, you start talking to women, you'll be like, dang, man, things are just tough. They'll be like, yeah, girl, it was tough around 5 years, 10 years, but girl, stay or look at what I'm dealing with. Some of the things I started having real conversations. I was like, wow. And we're not trauma bonding. We don't trauma bond, just conversations. And so 50% of first marriages end in divorce, 67% of percent of second marriages end in divorce, and 73% of third marriages end in divorce. It just goes higher because when you get to the other side where you've gone through divorce, you're like, oh, it's easy. Divorce is easy. It is. It's easy. That's the easy way out. Toughen it out. Stay in when you don't want to look at the person when they like, oh, they make me angry. They frustrate me. I'm anxious around them. Oh my gosh, I don't want to be intimate today. Oh my gosh, I don't want him to speak to me today. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That's what's hard because now you said, even when it's tough, I'm gonna get through this. I'm down in the valley, and it's sometimes it's a 10-foot walk, and sometimes it feels like it's a 10-mile walk. But you made a decision to stay, right? And sometimes it's hard because maybe your spouse wants to leave and maybe you said, hey, I mean, I've been on both sides of the fence. I've fouled and I've been like in a position where, hey, this isn't going to work. And I fought and I'm like, please, let's make it work. My father, my three children, I said, please. It didn't work that way. It didn't work that way. It didn't work how I wanted it to. I've been on both sides of that fence where I was like, yeah, I don't want you no more. I'm divorcing you. And yeah, and this side, I want this. And it's them that doesn't want it. So, sis, I feel you on either side. The next thing here is, I go into devotions, but on Mondays, I really like to share kind of a message that I've learned from me going to church. And I'm going to tell you, I got a lot of notes today. That's why my live probably didn't play live because I mean, I was going to give it to you. You hear me? But I'm going to give it to you now. And with that, people project. People project their fears upon you. People project their relationship woes. People project their hurt and disappointments. The message at my church was so terrible on Sunday. Like, I really was like, oh my God, this is a terrible message for people. And I was actually a little concerned, that the message would, hurt people and versus, I feel like you should leave from church inspired to be a better person, to do better, to give more to God. You understand the word, really should supplement whatever it is that you're doing and or living. Even if you're not reading your word, you should still walk away like, okay, I got it this week. I have enough energy to move on. It wasn't that message. And that's why I was saying you don't have to receive every message. You don't have to be around people saying, girl, I wouldn't put up with that. Well, yeah, maybe you wouldn't. Because people see things, or you might see things. That's why I say comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare my husband and your husband. Don't compare her husband and your husband. You have your husband for a reason. Some of the things you knew before you married him and some of the things you discovered, but he's yours. He belongs to you. Ask God to turn his heart. The word says God will turn the heart of a king. Ask him to turn your king's heart. I call mine a Superman. The other thing is, are you in sync? Are you all in sync together? There is a time in our lives where sometimes we're just not in sync. We get out of sync. And I noticed that when we were doing Pilates. Got there, all of the mats, they were full. I was like, there's no room. My friend's like, no, come over here by me, Montina. Okay. And then I noticed it's fun. It looks so good when we're in sync with each other, when we're in sync. You know when you're not in sync with your husband. Maybe it's a little bit more time and effort. You need to be intimate, take a shower together, sit down and eat. Send him a text at work chat. Don't let time go so long where you don't communicate, you don't have that affection, you don't compliment, you don't appreciate. I'm telling you, that's where resentment and bitterness build up in your relationship and in your marriage. The other thing is, are you in sync in your relationships? I have great girlfriends. I have a pretty good life that I have been very intentional about building. I don't deal with people that really just have a lot of challenges or want a trauma bond. They're not my type of people. Like, get a therapist. Because let me tell you, we all got some issues we're going with. So I don't go super duper deep. I don't stay surface level, but I'm like right in between where we're like talking unicorns and rainbows. Okay. And that's important. Is it time to give up? For some of you, I don't know. I mean, I don't want you in abusive relationships, but then I'm gonna ask you, sis, have you done the work? Well, Montina, what about him? This is about you. It's about us. I don't know if he's going to do the work. Sis, I know that there's some situations where I said, oh, I need some extra knowledge on this. I don't, I need a book on this. I need a reference. There are 4 marriage books that I actually need to order that were referenced at the marriage conference I went to. And one talked about 4 seasons of marriage. I said, oh, that's interesting. When I was dating, I got this book and I wrote in it 2020. He's scared, she's scared, how to understand the hidden fears sabotaging your relationships. Do you know that there are some fears that you have about marriage and having about being super, super close and going super, super deep? And you sabotage your own marriage, your own life, your own relationships. Dig deep into whatever happened in childhood, adulthood, college, secrets that you haven't told anybody, just God. Maybe you need to tell a therapist because there are reasons why we do what we do. Me too. Reasons why we do what we do. So make sure that if it's time, make sure it's a real reason. Let me tell you a couple stories. So I'm the type of person when I get around older people, I ask questions. Okay. So there was a woman I was around recently and she's older. And I said, well, she's single. I said, are you widowed? I really kind of thought she was. She's like, well, no. Well, I guess I kind of left my husband, but I didn't realize I was leaving my husband. Oh, really? Tell me what happened. Because I'm interested in this stuff, y'all. I want to get it right in my marriage. She said, well, he golfed all the time. And he was really a serious golfer. I said, well, was he a pro? No, but I mean, he just golfed a lot. Oh, okay. So apparently she just went to another state, kind of being around her kids. And I guess over time, somebody else scooped him up and he's now married to her. Men that like relationships, guess what? They like relationships. They really like relationships. That's one story. Another story, this happened to someone I know directly. Same thing. He moved to another state, retired, and the wife didn't like the city they were in and decided she'd be gone. She was gone like 3 or 4 months. Guess what? By the time she thought she was coming back, he had moved on, and somebody else had moved up in the house, and he filed for divorce and everything. These men move on. I don't know what is going on in you because you might be like, girl, she don't want him. I said we all kind of kid, girl. You give him back. Y'all probably wouldn't give my husband back. My husband is pretty amazing 80% of the time, but he's built for me. That 20%, I know how to manage because I'm emotionally mature. Okay. The third one is Miss Terry at my church, and she also Chicago steps me. She's amazing. I might try to see if I can interview her, get her on a call. I think she's been married like 35 years. And I was telling her a story about the golf incident. She said, my husband, that's my story. She said, my husband used to golf all the time. He'd be gone. The kids be like, where's daddy? He's on the golf course. She said, but I'd rather him be on the golf course than in another woman's bed. That's wise. She made it work. And now they're celebrating all these years. Okay. 2 kids, a grandbaby, years of life doing life together. So, are older women around you, are they wise or are they weird? We need older women to be cheerleaders. I'm an older woman because I'm older for seasoned, and I'm seasoned, 20 something year old. I talk to them. I met young women like got two, three, four kids. I'm like, why aren't you married? I asked, I mean, I don't offer unsolicited advice. I'm not going around the city talking about you. These are women in my circle that I know could be relatives. I've talked to my daughters. Like sometimes I say, just be nice. I observe their relationships, and I might make a comment here, but I don't need to. My oldest one she does an amazing job. My kids do great. Okay, my son, I share information just like I'm sharing with you all because I want their marriages to work. Right? I want to be a great mother-in-law if, you know, their spouses allow me. Some spouses allow me, some don't. Okay? I'm not a mother-in-law from hell. Now I'm not a mother in love like all that. I'm a mother-in-law. Like my kids are still my priority. I'm pro my kids, but I also want them to win in marriage. So I'm pro, hey, read this, do this. Oh, I noticed this. Oh, you said this. They're not doing this. Okay, they probably weren't taught. Have you done this? So I'm going to be pro relationship and pro marriage. Hope matters. Do not give up hope in your marriage, your life. At some point, I know you're like, oh, I just can't do it. I get it. But don't let it be something because y'all playing golf. Like, girl, why you divorced him? Girl, he played too much golf. Like, how do you sound when you get older? Girl, I'm just not happy. Create your own happiness. Again, abusive relationships. I get it, sis. I ain't putting up, girl. We might need to come over and help you. I'm not putting up with that. But certain things, it's like I hear women say, or they didn't tough it out. I'm like, no, those aren't things you probably want to give up this for that. Because it's like the wild, wild west out in the dating world, y'all. And for my single ladies, I'm a single ladies, I'm a single ladies, I'm a single ladies. Ooh, y'all staying too long. Y'all are staying too long with men that don't want you. You're not blocking their numbers. You're giving them all of your beautiful feminine energy. And I do like this because that's what it feels like to men. They love it. It's like the ocean. Ooh, you refresh them. Even if you're not sleeping with them, energy ignites them. It's your energy, sis. You're staying too long. You're not dating enough. You get out of something, and I'm not saying you should rush into something, but you just taking time. I'm taking time to heal. You ain't going to therapy and you're not reading no books. Why are you attracting the type of men you attract? When I look back over my life, I have always attracted very masculine, hyper masculine men, very protective. My husband is a protector. My husband adores me. We were out at we actually were at a club that we go to, a little lounge, a little club. And this man is just creepy in the club. And he's weird. He's like this professor and he goes in there and gets drunk and he's really, really creepy. And he really is a professor in real life, but he's creepy. And he came around us. My husband, I'm kind of in between him and he has on. My husband is not moved. Like my husband don't nothing face him. He like on live on I wish you would. Why do I attract them? Going back to my childhood, you have to study to show thyself approved. Do the work. There's things that you need to do the work. So that's what I had to do. I said, okay, why do I attract? Because I felt like when I was younger, like I wasn't protected. I wasn't protected from people. And I didn't experience like, uh, my experience isn't even important here. Why are you experiencing the things you're experiencing? And also, you all have to increase your knowledge. Y'all, I'm not enough. Like, I'm good. I do the work, but I ain't enough. Get you some books. I don't know this author. But you don't know these people. I don't either. But chew the meat, spit out the bones. Get you some books. Read up on relationships. Getting to I do. How to marry in like 12 months or less. Pat, I can't think of her last name. That book is phenomenal. She has like 3 or 4 in a series. She does seminars. She doesn't anymore. But I even bought her seminar to listen to it. Y'all aren't doing the work. Y'all dating these men, getting in, getting out, getting in, but you're not doing the work. You don't know why you're attracted. Y'all, you guys just gotta do the work. I'm not enough. Okay? I'm amazing, but I'm not enough. And that's what I have here. I put here travel, but I don't remember what I was going to say about it because I keep little notes. Oh, you don't have to be miserable in a marriage. And people are like, I see what's going on over there. You only see the surface level. Okay, some of y'all really think y'all know what's going on behind, and you might, and that might be a woman oversharing with you. But you see surface level with us out and about. You might see the happy times. You might see us arguing maybe in the parking lot. But again, you don't have to be miserable in marriages. People are happy in marriages. They stay together. Oh, I wouldn't want to go through what they went through. Well, what are you willing to go through? Choose your hard. Choose your, I hate to say the hard. Choose your passion. Choose what it is you're willing to do. But that's why I'm pro relationship over here. And with that said, make sure, I like to have the power from the word. We need prayer. We need worship. You need your meditation from your prayer. You need the praise in your worship. Y'all, making it practical. Practical side is people project. You don't have to receive every message. That's what it is. And you need hobbies. Y'all don't have enough to do. You shouldn't be sitting in the house ruminating, thinking about, oh, what he out there doing. He out there having fun. He out there at work. He out there and ran to the grocery store just like he said he was. Maybe he ain't, Martina. You just don't know. Well, sis, come on, sis. That's why I always talk about getting your sexy back. Because you know what? He need to be wondering what you doing. When I go to the store, even if I have something like this on, I might change out my tennis shoes and put on my heels. He gonna wonder what I'm doing before I'm wondering what he doing. Some of y'all don't. You just walk out all raggedy. That's why he ain't wondering what you doing. Girl, clean up, be sexy, be amazing, be fine, and get you some hobbies. Your self care is important. Your self maintenance is important. I get the gel nails because I was painting my nails and nail polish coming off. It's all chipped. My pedicure is good. Just I put on some lipstick, take care of your skin. My hair right now, I had to wash it yesterday and just pushed it up. You need to feel good about yourself. You need a sister circle. Unicorns and rainbows. Stop trying to go super duper deep. And I mean, I'm to the point where people know not to go super duper deep. Because I'm like, I don't want trauma bond with you. Like, okay, he crazy, girl, mine crazy too. What's up? Where you get that lipstick? What else here? Put on the armor. I got my notes here. Ephesians 6:11. We got to put our whole armor on for this week, for work, for our husbands. Make sure you're praying for that man. He needs it, sis. It's Monday. He needs that prayer from you. He needs that softness. Send him that cute little text. Y'all did something this week and tell him how much you appreciated it. I'm telling you, these men, we have to stroke their egos. Last thing is no weapon formed against us shall prosper because the joy of the Lord is our strength. All right, I'll see you in the next live. Bye, y'all.